U.S. Army Major Eric King is finally home. He thought he was going to meet a guy called Ronnie Lyles, project manager of Operation Finally Home, for coffee. This is a week ago Monday. When he got out of his truck, he looked a little shocked and a little humbled. He was greeted by a gathering of journalists and friends, a bunch of Texas flags. It happened here in Dallas. King is a veteran. He served in our Army for 13 years, 2 tours of duty in Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan. He was wounded by an IED explosion in combat. Now, the guy who was surprising him, Ronnie Lyles, said this.
We'll never know what he has gone through. We never know what he's going through and what he will continue to go through the rest of his life. You know, we're able to remove the burden of a mortgage for he and his family, but he's still going to have these mental, emotional, and physical injuries and scars that he's going to deal with on a daily basis for the rest of his life. So we're doing this so that we can just be a small part of helping him to heal and to start a new chapter in his life.
Since the founding in 2005, Operation Finally Home has donated over 150 houses to veterans all across the country. Major King said this.
I want to say thanks to the soldiers who serve beside me, who are the true heroes, or who are no longer here with me today. I think about them every day. And I thank the American people who are served for this country. There is no greater place I want to be. There is no greater country I would rather serve than the great U.S. of A. So I thank all of you on today for being here. I thank all of you for your love and support. And I am glad to now be a citizen of Irving, Texas.
King and his family then took the shovels and broke ground where their house is going to be built. Behind them, 2 giant American flags and a rendering of the future 4-bedroom house where Major Eric King and his family will finally call home. Major King, how are you?
I'm great this morning. How are you?
I'm great. I'm glad to have you here.
Thank you.
We also have Ronnie Lyles here. Ronnie, how are you?
Doing good. Good morning, sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
So, first of all, you thought you were just going to go for coffee with Ronnie?
Yes.
You had no idea?
Well, it was another man by the name of David Royals.
Mm-hmm.
I was told to meet with him at Joe's Coffee Shop, and we was going to meet with the builder to interview with him to see if I can be a candidate to receive a mortgage-free home from Operation Finally Home.
Mm.
And once I got there, I was told, well, we have to go and meet with the builder because there seemed to be an issue over at the site.
What did your stomach tell you?
I said, okay, if I suppose I met with the builder here at the coffee shop and he's not here, then maybe they've already interviewed the other candidate and they want to go with that candidate. So they pretty much just want to now cut my interview time down and meet with me and my family for a couple of minutes and send us on our way.
And so you pulled up and you saw everybody there.
Yes. Surprised, shocked, blown away. And I'm like, okay, supposed to be an interview. Now all these people, what's going on? And then when I was told, well, hey, you've already been selected, at that point, I just became very emotional and just shocked and surprised.
So when you pulled up, you didn't know it was for you?
As we were pulling up, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? Well, first when the police escort pulled out, I'm like, okay, we just got into something that's going on up ahead of us. There's a convoy. We've just gotten involved in this.
So you just thought you're accidentally in the middle of a funeral procession.
Or
something's going on.
Yes.
Because you had a police escort.
Yes.
And you pulled out of where?
Oh, we was just driving down the street, and they just pulled out of a parking lot and just got in front of us, the lights on. So, yeah.
Ronnie, tell me what a mortgage-free house means. I mean, I know what it means, but do you have to pay for anything? Do you have to help build it? What is this?
Well, back when we started in 2005, Glenn, our mission was to provide custom-built mortgage-free homes to America's wounded, ill, and injured veterans, as well as the widows of the fallen, just to honor their courage and sacrifice. And so what we do with every project is start with a builder. And when a builder confirms that he wants to do a project, then we reach out to his trade partners, his suppliers, vendors, and we get them to donate as much as they can. So at the end of the day, Operation Finally Home picks up the gap funding, but we are presenting a truly deserving veteran such as Major King with a 100% mortgage-free home that's going to, change their lives forever.
Yeah. How did you select him?
Our selection process is very thorough. Applicants can apply. They go through a very thorough vetting process. They must be honorably discharged. Our primary focus is 70% or more disabled. Mm-hmm. They have to pass a criminal and a financial background check. They have to be able to show that they could take home ownership as a responsibility. And so when we present our candidate to the builder and the builder community, we want them to know that we've done our due diligence. So in this case, with Major King, I think we've hit a home run. He, as well as his family, are just great folks, and they are excited to be getting a mortgage-free home and starting a new step in their lives in Irving.
How are you from Texas originally?
No, I'm not. When I retired in June 28th of 2016, I came here to Dallas. Prior to getting out, I wanted to see what state and city had the best veteran facility, of course, the VA, that would be able to provide me all the assistance and medical care and treatment that I needed. And I found that Dallas was the best VA for me.
Tell me about your wound. Tell me about what happened to you with the IED.
Well, it was my very first mission, actually, when I went out, my first IED encounter that came about with the traumatic brain injury and all the other ailments or disabilities that came behind it. But I was an infantryman, rifle platoon leader, and we was out on a mission, and just out of nowhere, IED explosion, and just things just went from there.
How is the VA?
The VA, if it wasn't for the VA, I'd probably be worse off than what I am. The VA here in Dallas has provided me with the utmost care and treatment in meeting the needs for me to make sure that
is good to hear.
I can be in a position to help reclaim my life, both mentally and physically.
What are you going to do now? What are you doing?
Right now, I'm 100% permanent and total disabled, so I'm unable to work due to my disabilities. But currently right now, I have kids that I am home for, that I can help now raise, because I missed so many years of their lives coming up due to multiple deployments and training.
Tell me about your kids. How old are they?
I have an 18-year-old.
You do not look old enough to have it. I got to tell you.
I thought you were going to say like 5. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
18. How old are you?
I'm 39 years old.
Wow.
Shut up.
Yeah,
now get out of my studio. You look like you're 22.
Yeah, I'm 39 years old. I came into the military fairly young. Actually served 16 years in the military. So that was a typo with the 13. But 16 years I served in the military. So, yeah.
Tell me about your wife.
Hopefully my wife and I will be able to restore our marriage. We don't have a marriage anymore. And I would say to a lot of veterans who have served in the military, who have encountered physical and mental things from being deployed, coming back from deployments, coming out of the hospital, being medically retired out of the military, as a transition that we go through. And a lot of times, things that we have endured and encountered, it kind of fall back into our homes with our families.
I bet it does.
And there was a period where I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot before I finally started getting the actual help that I needed mentally. And that brought a wedge in between myself and my family. So I would say to all veterans out there, get the help that you need, not tomorrow, but today, because it can totally change your life in a way where your loved ones are forced to feel like they're walking on eggshells. They feel like they can't be there because we are going through some things that's pushing our families away from us.
I have to tell you, everybody I know that is in the military, you're just different. You're just all different. I mean, you have brothers, and that was your life, and you're doing things that nobody does. Nobody does. And everyone that I know that has been wounded, especially if they're fully disabled, they're not fully disabled up here.
Correct.
It has to be. I mean, I don't want to get too personal, but I can imagine that it's a challenge to you as a man to come home to lose all that and then not be able to, do what society or what you've always thought you were supposed to do. And it's got to be rough on a marriage.
It's very tough. I can speak for me. Being back home, being told you can no longer serve, coming into the military, in my mind, I want to serve 30 plus years. I want to go as far as I can possibly go, beyond major, lieutenant colonel, colonel, and above. But being told you can no longer serve, you are being forced to medically retire out, and you feel like that there's still unfinished business overseas. Because it's like, okay, this happened to me, I need to go back. So being back at home with your family, every day you're thinking about the soldiers' lives that were lost, the soldiers that was injured, things that felt like, for me, under my command and the positions I served. And I'm studying saying to myself, what could I have done differently on that mission? So
it's like
living with that every day.
You don't ever get to, it's like when you fall off a horse, you get back on. You don't get a chance to get back on.
No.
Is it hard to come back to a society that seems so frivolous?
Operation Finally Home has helped since last Monday me to say, you know what, the American people in public, they still care. Because once you come back and you've gotten out of the military, for me, I was no longer Major King. I was Eric King. And I felt like I lost that power base. I felt like I lost, taking care of soldiers, making decisions. And now I'm here and it's like, well, nobody care about me. I go to the VA, I get my treatment, get my medications, physical therapy,
Right.
behavior health and all that.
Right.
I'm like, I just feel like I'm a nobody now. So it really made me, say that the American people, they still care about us. They still out there, they care about us. And I felt like at one point I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I was just a nobody now who was fighting to reclaim my life.
Millions of people care. Deeply, deeply care. We just don't always know what to do. We don't always know what to say. And I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
How can people get involved, Ronnie?
We love to let the community get involved in each project. So I would encourage everyone to go to our website, operationfinallyhome.org, operationfinallyhome.org. They can follow every project that we've got going throughout the country. They can also look at the bios and visit and find out more about our heroes that we've been able to honor and projects that are currently underway. And they can also donate to Operation Finally Home or to a specific project.
So if you're a builder, you want to get involved. If you make things that are used for home building or for home supplies, you can donate. But you can also, as a regular person, just donate cash.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's remarkable what you do, and I thank you for that and all of the people that you work with. I don't know if you ever feel like this, but in a man's life, you can feel like, do I make a difference at all? Like what you were saying. And if you ever feel that way, you listen to what he just said. It's remarkable. Good for you. Operation Finally Home. Join them.